Today we are doing something that I haven't done in about 6 years. Today we are focusing on the parent squad. I've got you, darlings. If this doesn't apply to you, keep watching because this is a 2-in-1 vlog. Instead of tackling toys, the rest of us are going to be tackling homeware items. My children are of an age now where they no longer tend to have toys. However, as a mama of 3, I know all too well the struggle is real when it comes to how do we clean these toys and how do we organise them. Nothing hurts more than a tiny piece of Lego being embedded in your foot and you're certain that these little plastic toys were made by the devil himself. It's no secret that children's toys are germy. This is because they are regularly dropped and their sticky fingers touching them encourages bacteria to thrive. Fun fact, I used to many moons ago clean childcare environments to make sure they were clean and sterile for the children to play safely. So let's get into day 6 of the 30 days of cleaning with Hayley. One of the best ways to keep germs at bay is to sanitise toys using baby sterilising fluid. Using something like bleach is effective, but it could potentially come with great risks, as children do and will put toys in their mouths. Any hard plastic toys that are not electrical can go into a bathtub and be soaked in baby sterilising fluid. This is the most effective way of keeping them safe and sterile. Lego can either be bathed in sterilising fluid or placed in a net bag and put through the dishwasher. Any wooden toys that you may have need a different approach. Wood does not like water and it will actually harbour bacteria if it becomes too wet. So for wooden toys, we need to use something like a quick drying spray. I would advise using the Dettol Dry Mist Spray. Electrical toys can also be cleaned with a dry mist spray, but make sure to dry these instantly after you've sprayed them. Soft toys can go in the washing machine with a disinfectant. And finally, any other plastic toys that are too big for the bath, these can be sprayed with either a child-safe disinfectant such as the iClean Mini, Dettol, or you can go ahead and use a steamer. Make sure if you're using a steamer though that you hold the steam on the product for the right amount of time. If you don't leave the steam on there for long enough, it is not going to kill the germs and bacteria. Once we've cleaned the toys, we now need to go ahead and organise them. The most effective way at organising toys is to use a basket or box storage system. You want to organise the toys in how you have just cleaned them. So, for example, if you've got wooden blocks, you're going to keep all the wooden blocks together, and you can also put in there things like if you've got wooden food pieces, anything like that can all go in the wooden section. So you want these kept together so you know that when it comes to cleaning them next time, you have the box there ready to go, and those are things that you are not going to want to get overly wet. Then with your plastics, you want to keep them as well in a separate box. This way you know that all the plastics, non-electrical ones, are good to be tossed into the bathtub and soaked in a baby sterilising fluid. Now, for those of you following along that this does not apply to, let's get busy on tackling our homeware items. What I mean by this is things like plant pots, wax melts, ornaments, vases, anything like this. We're going to get them and we're going to give them a clean. When it comes to these sorts of items, my best advice is have less to reduce stress. While these things do look pretty and I am all for them when it comes to making our home feel homely and welcoming, they do require lots of cleaning because they accumulate dust, they accumulate dirt, and that is just adding to our workload. As a good rule of thumb, I like to say in each room you should have no more than 5 items on show. These are your pretty homewares. The first phase in this clean is gathering all of these items from around our home. We want to bring them to one central location, ideally the kitchen. This is going to allow us to clean them all at once so we haven't missed anything. And also, the reason I like to do this is there might be stuff that actually doesn't require to be out anymore. You might want to put it away in storage. You might find that you're not using it that often. You might want to gift it to someone else. You might have someone in your family that could make better use of it than what you are. This is just a really nice way for us to visually see in one hit what we have out in our homes, what we use, and things that are just taking up room and making our lives harder when it comes to the clean. Now we have all the things that we want to clean on our table, we can start working our way through them. Now, not everything is going to have the same cleaning technique. So, there are certain things like these plastic photo blocks here. These can be washed in the sink with dish soap, and then I can buff them dry with a clean, dry microfiber cloth. The same applies for something like this. This is good to go in the sink as well and have a wash, and then it can be also buffed dry. I'm going to put these into sections. Again, the same applies with this. This is fine to go in the sink. It can then be cleaned and buffed dry with a dry microfiber cloth. When it comes to things like artificial flowers like these, we don't want to be plonking that in the sink because it's going to ruin the arrangement. So what we need to do is go in with our dust attachment on our vacuum for this particular type of flower, and then on these ones here we can go ahead and remove these from the vase, and this can go in the sink as well with this stuff. And these, I'm going to show you a different technique when it comes to cleaning them in a second. Things like books, because obviously they're paper, you don't want to get any water on these at all. It's just going to ruin them and you're going to end up throwing them away. So instead what we're going to do is use a microfiber cloth. We're going to dust them over lightly, and we are going to use the tiniest amount of antibacterial dry mist spray. So it won't even show up really on the book, but it's going to be ever so slight, and this is only going to be used on the very front of the book. So we'll get to that in a second. Things like your wax melt burners, these you can empty out if they do need cleaning. The best way of doing this is by lighting them and getting yourself some cotton wool. Once it has melted, the cotton wool will absorb the liquid, and you can then go ahead and toss it in the bin. Once you've done that, you've got two options. You can either put these in the dishwasher, which is what I favour, or you can go ahead and wash them again in the sink with some dish soap. Okay, so for things like books, you want something that is really soft. This, you can improvise, my darlings, there is no shame in it. This is just one of my spare mop glider head things, and I keep this in the cupboard. This side is particularly good for things like this, and you literally want to get one of these and just spray the tiniest amount on it. You don't want a lot at all. It shouldn't feel wet. See, that doesn't, it feels, there's a tiny bit of something in there, but it's really not wet. And then you just want to brush over it. And we'll do the back. And then we'll get the side. And you don't want to do any more than that if you are cleaning your books. For things like this, you can go over them with a damp, clean cloth. This is actually bleach solution that I am using on this. And and you can just go over the whole thing, and then once you are done, you can buff it dry with a clean microfiber cloth. This is going to remove any of the dust that has stuck to it. I can't fully immerse this particular tray. If you've got a tray that you can immerse in water, go ahead and do that instead. I can't do that with this one because it's got the personalised paper underneath. So obviously if I put this in water, the paper underneath is going to get ruined and it is not gonna look nice. When it comes to anything like this, guys, make sure you spray the spray that you are using onto the cloth and not directly onto the actual item. And then go ahead and just wipe it over. And then you can buff it dry with either a dry microfiber cloth or one of these crystal clear cloths. For these types of flowers, what we are going to do is we are going to put them in our sink, and we are going to add some Sephora to them, and we are going to give them nice wash. There are other methods you can use. I have done videos on cleaning artificial flowers on the channel before. One of these includes steaming them. This is really good to get rid of any dust that are on the petals, but you do need to be careful when using the steamer, because obviously if it's too hot, if you come too close to it, it will melt the glue, and that's not what we want. So this water isn't hot at all. It's literally lukewarm water that we're doing this with.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
My final element to this clean is, once you have cleaned and washed everything, have a look around and see if you want to place it back where it was originally placed, or whether you want to change it up. I have been doing this for years and years and years, and I just find it really an effective way to make you feel good, and it gives a new element of life into your home by simply moving things that you already have within your home. So this shouldn't be costing money. We're not buying more things and bringing more into our home. We're simply taking something that was maybe located in another room and we're placing it somewhere else within our home, and that gives you a beautiful feeling. You'll sit there later and you'll go, I really like that wax burner. I love that, it's so nice. But it'll be the same wax burner that you had in your bedroom, but it will just feel different because it's in a different room in your house. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, guys. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow for day 7. I am so proud of all of you that are sticking with this and joining in. Thank you so much for sharing the content, for commenting, and being a part of the 30 days of cleaning challenge with me, Hayley. Take care, guys. Mwah.